This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
The numbers told the story, they always do.
It's one of those idiots who believe in analytics.
This is a numbers game with Gil Alexander on VSiN.
Thursday edition of a numbers game here on VSiN, the sports betting network. Matt Brown and Kelly Bidlin here on the desk. We will keep you incredibly entertained for the next 3 hours, talking baseball, talking basketball, talking golf, talking anything else that comes across our screen here, a little NFL along the way. Adam Rosenberg, co-founder of Handigraphs, is going to join us. He's got a bunch of futures already in his account in Major League Baseball. Wyatt Tomczyk, our very own,
tough get,
going to join us here on the desk. We said we're going to talk a little bit of everything. How about some Daytona 500? Left turns, baby.
Vroom, vroom.
We're doing that here on the program. Then Joe Sheehan a little bit later. Some more baseball with Joe and see if we can't get some more bets in the account there. And, of course, we will squeeze in all of our golf plays yet again. Have us a little golf draft as well. Feeling good, man. How you doing on Thursday?
I'm doing great, man. Excited. Yeah. We get Pebble Beach going. Yeah, we'll do a little first-round leader draft for everybody getting started here this morning. We tee off in about an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes, something like that. So, yeah, next hour we'll run through all our bets again and then look at a little first-round leader action, man. But it's getting sad, man. You know, NBA winding down. We're getting into that period where we're going to have not much going on from the NBA for a while.
There is definitely that is looming as we have our final 3 games here today. Of course, we will get into all 3 of those as well, break those down, see if there's any bets that we have in the account for sure. And if you want to tweet the show, as usual, I know it's not Gil on the desk, but if it's good enough, we'll read it.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm a little more judicious in the Twitter readings than
you don't Ron Burgundy up, yeah.
But I'll tell you, if it's good enough, he'll read at Matt Brown M2 at Kelly Bidlin. I like that you stay with the bid, even though I'm going to wear a jacket, but you're like, to hell with it. I don't care. I'm not jacketing. I don't care.
I don't change things.
You're revolting.
I don't change things up just because you show up.
I mean, exactly. I'm just telling you. I would have thought you'd gotten a little self-conscious with me looking so good, and then you without the jacket on.
I think I look fantastic.
Whatever. Just one of those things. Let's get into what we saw last night over in college basketball. Florida just absolutely dismantled Georgia, 86-66 over there in Athens, easily covering the 8.5, much to the chagrin of, I think, many people out there that were on the dog there in that one.
Yes, and I'm looking at what the team total just stayed under as well, right, for Florida. So Dallin didn't get that one home either. But, yeah, big-time win by the Gators, who I don't know about you, but I think for the past 3 weeks is the most popular futures bet I've heard.
Even yesterday, after that win, if you're on sports Twitter and you go in and you were looking, there were a lot of people who were basically saying, hey, listen, now's the time because it's going to be too late here in another couple of weeks if you want to get on the Florida train. But the upside, I think what we've seen from this squad, certainly, I mean, Kelly, you get to the tournament, you basically just got to run hot for 2 weeks,
right?
And we've seen what the upside of this team can be.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that's what makes sense. I get why people are saying they want a little bit longer price, hopefully be getting into the mix, and then you got something nice when you get towards the tail end of the NCAA tournament. That is a team. I saw Florida here at the beginning of the season here in town. Actually, man, they are big. They are big. I think it's going to be an issue for a lot of teams down the stretch here.
UConn beat Butler 80-70, but did not cover that big 11.5-point spread there in that one. Texas Tech thumped Colorado by 34 points in that one. And then the last
44. Come on, Colorado. We can do better than that.
I mean, I think they were playing with their right hands. I don't know for sure. But yes, only 44 points there for Colorado. And then we did have an outright upset. Virginia Tech beat number 20 Clemson as an 8.5-point dog. So we did see one upset there in the top 25. Over in the NBA, an absolutely packed schedule top to bottom, Kelly. So we will get through as many of these as we can in the next segment when we're previewing the 3 games from today. We can also hit some of these teams that played last night as well. The Hornets did win, but got outscored by 11 in the fourth quarter to blow the cover. If you were on the Hornets side of that one, you thought you were cruising, and instead get outscored by 11 there in the fourth quarter to not cover. Brandon Miller, 31 points and 9 boards. LaMelo had a 24-4-6 line. Con Kneppel had a 18-6-4 line in this one. The Hornets now 15-7 here in 2026. Kelly Bidlin, they've won 10 of their last 11. How you feeling about this team?
I'm feeling damn good. Let's hit the Hornets win-o-meter. There we go. We're up to 26. I know there are some 25.5 win totals that got home for people out there. I want to keep you updated on that. I got 26.5, so I will be celebrating the next win, and then it tops out at 30, Matt, because I've got the 30-plus. But now at this point, you just went through what they've done recently. I feel like a coward for only going 30-plus. It was 30. They're going to hit 35 easily, that's for sure. Probably get a hit in the 40s, probably. So, look, the Hornets team's great. This is one of those. There were a couple. Oh, boy. I mean, just for NBA betting can always be a little wild, as you know, Matt, is when it comes to the endings of these games. Definitely these last couple days before the All-Star break, I think there are more reasons to stake down than others in really how much you're betting. And this game, right? This opened 6.5. I think we closed like 2.5. So like this is all about where you got the number on either side of this game.
When we were in here, 4.5 was kind of the prevailing.
Right.
Yeah, it was kind of the prevailing number, which it seems like that's where people came in and really took it. And so, again, it was this Hornets team, one of those that you look at what Khan's been able to do in his rookie season here, and
he's a stud.
It's no longer he's a contributor. He's a full-on star on this team, and it's a team that I'm not saying that we have to necessarily take seriously as far as like winning it all or anything, Kelly Bidlin, but, you know, we have proclaimed before on these programs of teams to maybe look at from a little bit longer lens, and I think that you got to like what you see there if you're a Hornets fan.
I'm just pulling up stats since January 1st. This is, since January 1st, 15-7, best net rating in the NBA outside of garbage time minutes, and it's the second best offense and the third best defense. Matt, it's not the offense. The offense is impressive. This was, I think I expected at some point the highest expectations, right? Could be that this Hornets offense could end up in this top 10, maybe even top 5 range, because it had just been so long since we'd seen all these guys healthy and playing together over the past few years. I mean, I think this is my third year on a Hornets over win total. And what Khan's brought to the table cannot be undersold. He's been amazing. And if Cooper Flagg was not in this class, he would be the clear-cut Rookie of the Year winner. I don't even think it would be all that close. So the offense...
And still might. Who knows?
It still might. I've got a ticket on him.
I mean, still might. Who knows?
Hope he gets in the mix. I doubt it, but I hope it. But, you know, we talked about Diabate after the fight and everything. I'm shocked at how much he's been able to add to them defensively and really help settle things in. Miles Bridges has always had his problems off the court. I think he's always been an underrated basketball player a little bit because of that. He's been huge. This starting lineup has just been so great together. And, I don't know what the ceiling is for this team, Matt, right? It's when you are that good on one side of the ball specifically, I think the defense is going to drop off eventually. But when you're this good on one side of the ball, we see Detroit doing it with their defense, right? Like it's hard to put ceilings on you.
We don't talk much about divisions, obviously.
I wrote this one down yesterday.
In basketball, but I can tell you that they're 4-1. To win the division.
I'm a little upset now because I saw 550 yesterday.
Yeah,
Well, the big win against Atlanta Hawks, right?
Yes.
Against Southeast Division win. Matt, it's okay. So how far back, standing wise,
they are three? They are 3 back of Orlando, and they are half a game back of Miami right now. Yet they are 4-1 to win.
Right. Okay. So that's where they stack up. But this is, and I'm not going to say Atlanta's completely out of it, I guess, but Orlando, Miami. Like, they have their clear flaws and have not ever at any point this season been able to put together a significant stretch of consistently good basketball. The Hornets have. So, I'm with you, Matt. I wrote this one down the other day when I was kind of looking. I think the win total's gotten out of range like that. When we went over win totals yesterday on the show, this was one I was looking at. I think going over their win total is probably asking too much, but I think like they could win this division with 39, 40 wins.
And 4-1 right now.
Yeah.
Like you said, 5-1 yesterday, but obviously get that big win there. We were on air, 17.5 started getting bought up. Apparently that was not enough because the Cavs go out and beat the Wizards 138-113. Donovan Mitchell, 30 on 11 of 19 shooting. Jared Allen, 21 on 8 of 8 shooting. And Sam Merrill, 32 on 11 of 12 shooting, including 9 of 10 from 3. That is the second most efficient 30-point game in NBA history.
Whew,
there's a little fun fact for you right there. The Cavs turned it over 21 times and still won by 25 points.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Look, this if this Cleveland offense is going to keep playing like this, right? Like this, I think one of their big things in the past was, okay, the balance. And we talk about their star players all the time. I had questions about James Harden coming to this team. Is there enough balls to go around? But you started to hear reports that Donovan Mitchell was really pushing for this. And we say this a lot, or I say this a lot about when it comes to a Josh Allen or star players, right? Whatever they want, give it to them, because that's what's going to make them happy and what they think is going to work best. Over their 3 games together, spite it, 32.3 points per game, 6.3 assists. He's over 53% from the field. Harden, over 19 points per game, almost 9 assists per game. He's over 40% from the three-point line. I think the big thing for I still have questions, I guess, for me at end of games, big moments. How is this going to work in the playoffs? But the fact that you can almost always have Harden or Mitchell on the court is just massive.
No Embiid was definitely a problem.
Yeah.
The Knicks beat the Sixers 138-89. Mm-hmm. I'm not misspeaking. 138-89, a 49-point victory for the Knicks. They outscored the Sixers 36-23 in the first quarter, 36-19 in the second quarter, and then 34-18 in the fourth quarter. And they did this, Kelly Bidlin, with Jalen Brunson scoring 8 points in the game.
I don't even know. What was it? Was it Tuesday you brought up the Brunson thing about like you go higher, you go low, and geez, have we seen that in the the last 2 games, 40 and then 8. Look, Embiid has been awesome. You know what my first thought of was with this game, Matt, was these are the games when the Knicks were in that slide for a little while ago. Like, these are the games you have to take care of business, right? When Embiid's out, you've got to be able to win games like this, and it's nice to see them kind of do that easily. And
they did it by 49 points, a nice little bounce back after a dud there against the Pacers. When we get back, we'll continue here with the NBA. It was a massive, massive slate and get into tonight's bets as well.
Laptop or phone, couch or sportsbook, VSiN goes where you go. Wherever you watch VSiN, the experience stays seamless. Live shows, replays, and sports-specific clips all at your fingertips. VSiN Watch puts you in the driver's seat. Available in Roku, Samsung, Amazon, iOS, Android, app stores, or get it direct from the source at VSiN.com. Download VSiN Watch today on your favorite app store and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
This is VSiN, a network of sports betting analysts, writers, hosts, and handicappers, all here to help you become a more confident bettor. We broadcast live every day from Las Vegas, the sports betting capital of the world, and from studios across the country, giving you insight from every angle of the action. Take VSiN with you wherever you go with the VSiN Watch app, or catch us on streaming platforms and regional sports networks. You can also listen live on SiriusXM channel 158 and on radio stations nationwide. Check out VSiN.com as well for betting tools, exclusive betting splits, AI-powered player prop projections from Opta, pro picks for every game, plus in-depth betting guides and articles built to give you an edge. From sharp betting analysis and daily best bets to insider interviews and expert breakdowns, VSiN is your trusted source for everything happening in the world of sports betting. See everything we have to offer at VSiN.com and become part of the Sports Betting Network.
What's up, guys? It's JVT. Stormy and I in on Follow the Money for the week. Tim Murray is going to join us on Thursday. We'll get his thoughts on the Thursday night card, and we'll look ahead to some NCAA tournament make or miss futures. Steve, the Meat Man Wiss, is going to be with us as well. We'll get some soccer plays from him, and our Play Ball series continues. We take a look at the Chicago White Sox and their chances for 2026. So join Stormy and I on Follow the Money, weekdays 1 to 4 Pacific, 4 to 7 Eastern here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Numbers game here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Matt Brown in for Gil here for the next week or so. Kelly Bidlin on the desk with me. Appreciate you guys being with us. Sirius Channel 158, YouTube TV, VSiN Watch app, terrestrial stations across this great country of ours. Kelly, the Pistons win despite those suspensions, 113-95 up in Toronto. Keep this road dominance that we talked about a couple of days going. They are road warriors for sure. Cade Cunningham, 28, 7, and 9 line for him. Now averaging 25.3, 5.6, and 9.6 on the season, shooting 46% from the floor. I know it is ridiculous for me to even bring up. Should we be talking about or at least thinking about Cade Cunningham a little bit more in the awards market? I know we'll talk about this exact subject a little later in the show, but I do want to toss that little nugget out there for you to stew on until we get there.
Yeah, I don't think it's crazy, right? Like, I scooped up a stupid long price on him early in the season. I don't think it gets home, but man, if we run into SGA, Jokic doesn't play the games. If he doesn't play the games, right? Like, if we get into this whole we're defaulting to an Eastern Conference player, I don't think he has the same kind of advanced stats as some of the others. But if they just keep winning ball games,
keep winning,
right?
His name's never going to go away, and then he's going to be the reason that they are winning.
He's the clear-cut dude on that team. I don't think he's out of it by any means.
And a lot of this handicap will do, like Kelly said, will come down to if these guys can play the requisite games, right? Because then that's going to bring other people into play if for whatever reason that they cannot. The Clippers edge the... What's that?
No, real quick. I mean, this was a game I watched a lot of. I thought it was a really bad performance by the Raptors. I was on them. We did mention Paul Reed. Paul Reed, I think in the first quarter had like 8 points or something. It was just like, all right, man, your best bigs are out, and still they were dominating them down low early. So not a good performance by the Raptors last night.
Clippers edged out the Rockets 105-102. Kawhi Leonard had a 3-point play with 2 seconds left in that one to get it home. He had 19 of his 27 points in the fourth quarter. Also had 12 boards in the game. Clippers won the turnover battle 21-9. That'll do it a lot of times if you turn it over less than half the time of the other team. Durant had 8 of those turnovers just himself there for the Rockets. And so with that, the Clippers get it home 105-102.
Yeah, this is another game. We talked about this one, the first matchup of the week. Another one that stays under for these teams, and I think that's something to monitor with both of them going forward. Man, Kawhi, I keep saying it, man. He leads the NBA now in 15-plus point fourth quarters this season. I think just with all the bad things that have been happening with this Clippers team, his play is really flying under the radar.
Another triple-double for Nikola Jokic, 26, 15, and 11. Nuggets beat the Grizzlies 122-116. I mean, again, we were just talking about that. He's going to need to stay on the court for sure, but if he just puts up a triple-double every single night, his odds are going to continue to plummet.
Yeah, it's wild. Plus 320 he is now for MVP. I have some nice size tickets from him earlier in the year when SGA got off that fast start. I got in right away on Jokic at 5-1. Matt, I don't really know. I don't know if I can recommend betting this now. It's a gamble. I made a bet last week on Wemby to win Defensive Player of the Year. He can miss one more game than what Jokic can for MVP. These are gamble bets right now. I think both have kind of indicated that they are going to go for it and try to play as many of these games as possible. Jokic, obviously, a little bit more sturdy than Wembanyama, but just realize if you're going in to bet these, that's what you're dealing with. And I think it's a little bit the difference between those two bets to me, Matt. If Wemby gets the number of games marks, he's winning the award. I don't think it's a conversation.
Yeah.
In the MVP, it's still a conversation, and that's what makes it even a little scarier to bet into.
Speaking of Wemby, his Spurs did beat the Warriors 126-113, so they covered any and all numbers out there. De'Aaron Fox, 27 and 8 assists. Wemby, 26 and 9 rebounds. And Stephon Castle did play, actually, in that one. He only played 21 minutes, and he only scored 8 points, but we were worried maybe he was going to have to miss some time, but he did get out there and play, even if it was just 28 minutes and for 8 points.
Yeah, and the Spurs number really didn't get out of control last night, so that was nice to have one winner last night in the NBA. But yeah, Spurs, man, keep getting it done. And yeah, this Warriors team, right? I got to be careful with no Steph in there. I am wondering how ugly this can get. He's out indefinitely, is what they're saying. I think it's mostly expected to be a couple weeks. Wait till the All-Star after the All-Star break, we should get an update. But no Jimmy Butler, no Steph Curry. It's a lot to ask for on the offensive side.
We must remember that team is certainly a little older in the tooth, as they say.
Yes,
a little
absolutely.
longer in the tooth, or whatever the saying is there.
Matt, I got to bring up Ray's tweet. He did tweet at me, and he's absolutely right. A week ago, Kelly said I was kind of high when I asked if 121 ticket on the Hornets to win the division. How high am I now? Ray, you sent me in like 7 different bets. Okay, I told you I liked the con one to win Rookie of the Year best, but man, you got better Hornets bets than me, man. Good for you. I love it. They are right there. They are right there.
Guys, if you are not already a VSiN Pro subscriber, you can head in $9.99 for your first month at VSiN.com/subscribe. Go in. Zach Cohen's NBA picks. You got Mackinnon stuff over there. On the trends and systems, you got also Zach's going to put his tennis plays in there. Greg Peterson every single day on college basketball. And, it's never too early to look ahead to what's going on in the NFL way, way, way out. So we got that all over there, including Jonathan Davis with his Olympic hockey. So head over to VSiN.com/subscribe. As little as $9.99 to get going there for your first month as we head into tonight's slate. This will wrap things up in the NBA. 3 games. We got the Bucks at the Thunder. That is 7:40 Eastern. My screen is lighting up as this is out to 13.5 now in favor of Oklahoma City. 214.5 your market high, 213.5 your market low when it comes to the total. Kelly, the Bucks beat the Magic last night, 34 from Cam Thomas there in that one. The Thunder beat up on the Suns, 136-109. Jalen Williams had 28 on 11 of 12 shooting from him. Everyone was just shooting the ball well last night. Thunder now won 2 in a row without SGA.
Yeah, this is a team that still performs pretty well, even with no SGA. But Jalen Williams, I mean, a little bit troublesome. I know he left for a little bit with a hamstring. Is questionable for tonight, which is a real big shame because I know he just had some comments the other day that hand and wrist were finally feeling about back to normal. Felt like he was playing back to normal. So that's a problem. Questionable tonight. I with something like that, Matt. We hate to guess on injuries, but you're one day before the All-Star break, right? I think I'm leaning more towards he's probably sitting tonight. A.J. Mitchell questionable as well on the Oklahoma City side. Ryan Rollins questionable for the Milwaukee Bucks. We've seen how well he has played this season for this team. I know it's a low total. All these guys potentially missing, though, and how good a defense Oklahoma City still plays. It's a lean to the under to me at 215. I don't think I'm going to end up on a bet on this one, but that's where I'm looking at right now.
Yeah, Chet Holmgren's at 18.5 points. You can find 19.5. It's just the juice is pretty high, so I just went ahead and played I played almost even money on the under at 18.5. He's been under 18.5 points this total here, 7 of his last 8, including all 3 of these games without SGA. I think, again, people just assume the star goes out and it's like, oh, well, Chet's going to just score a ton. Yeah. It's like, well, that's not what he does. That's not
really
his role.
Ever been him so far.
That's not what he does. That's not his role. He just doesn't shoot a ton. For him to get to 20 points in a game, he's got to be super, super efficient. And that's something I'm willing to bet against here. And they're huge favorites, and we're seeing this go up, Kelly. So, does he even play full minutes in this game? Yeah. Bucks play at a super slow pace as it is anyway, and then they allow a ton of outside points, but inside they actually defend pretty well, and that's where Chet gets about half of his points as it is anyway. So, again, I'm on the under 18.5 here on Chet Holmgren, kind of banking on all the different things that we just talked about.
Yeah, I like that, man. I like it. I lean to the game under too, so I think that kind of tracks. It's twofold, right? He's the guy who, he's going to get a little bit more usage, probably get a little bit more shots up with some of these guys are out. But guess what? The defense also can focus more in on him as well, and not have to worry about an SGA and a Jalen Williams. So one other quick note for Milwaukee Bucks fans out there. 4-1 straight up and ATS in their last 5, Matt. Watch out, get excited. If Giannis could return, just don't look at the schedule and who they've played, because it is wins over Chicago, New Orleans, Indiana, and Orlando.
Blazers and Jazz, 9:10 Eastern. Blazers got smoked by the Timberwolves last night, 133-109. They turned it over 25 times.
Not ideal.
In that game. Denny Avdia, 11 points on 3 of 14 shooting, was 0 of 7 from 3. So, there's that there on that. Jazz beat the Kings 121-93 in the Tank series. So they got the win there. They went off and did it wrong, Kelly. They shot 55% from the field and 41% from 3. It's hard to lose when you do that.
So what are you doing? The one I'm laughing about, because I didn't get to watch a ton of that game last night, so I'm rolling through the box score and everything. I'm like, okay, well, they did it again, right? The starters go to the bench. At least Will Hardy said something sort of about it before the game yesterday. But I don't really know that I could crush them because they were killing the Kings at the time. So
and with that, they kind of get away with it with a win. So Ace Bailey's the only guy that played more than 27 minutes in the game,
right?
But they didn't need him. Obviously, here they are as 7.5-point dogs tonight, hosting the Blazers, 238.5 to 239.5.
Yeah, this is another one, man. I got a couple leans. I think I'll be waiting on this game today. I got blown out last night. I'm still looking at the Blazers again tonight. Shaedon Sharpe questionable, but Lauri Markkanen and Keontae George both questionable. If they don't go for the Jazz, I think the one that I'm looking at more though is the over in this game. This is 2 top 10 teams in pace. But I need to see the Stars play if I'm going to go and bet it over on this one.
We'll get to the Mavs and Lakers a little bit later, but when we come back, Adam Rosenberg to talk some baseball with us.
Time. There's nothing more valuable. It's what drives everyone to make the most of every moment. We celebrate living large in the now. In a city where time disappears, we create experiences that electrify the soul and memories that will last forever. We go big, we go all night, and here, everyone is invited. So get loose and get loud.
This is Circa. You'll have the time of your life.
Elevate your sports betting game with VSiN's exclusive betting splits. Stay ahead with real-time market trends and track bet percentages on any matchup. Then uncover the edge by comparing them to the amount of bets placed to find out where the sharp money is headed. Upgrade to VSiN Pro to access betting splits, live odds, line moves, power ratings, and in-depth game analysis. Go to vsin.com/pro to join VSiN, the sports betting network.
This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Numbers game here on VSiN. Matt in for Gil. Kelly Bidlin on the desk here. And Kelly, Dan tweets in and says, don't throw out a nugget of thought on Cade for MVP. My 75-1 ticket would love to see us talk about it every single day, which I like that because, I mean, that's, again, there are, and we'll spend a lot of time on this or whatever, but there are paths.
For sure.
There are paths.
And the easiest path is, guess what? Detroit just keeps winning basketball games.
Yeah.
It is going to be tough to keep him completely out of the conversation. And I've got 100-1 too, but I thought it was a dumb bet when I was making it. It's a very small amount of money on there, but still 100-1.
Well, I can tell you it is sub 20 now, so y'all have great tickets.
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of things. Now they might end up as toilet paper, but it's okay.
Trying to think you know how different bet sizes work, Matt? Like I've got a plus 550 on Jokic and a 100-1 on Cade Cunningham. I'm pretty sure they pay out about the same.
Now joining us here on the program, your friend and mine, Adam Rosenberg, co-founder of Handigraphs. You can find him Sports Gambling Podcast Network at Hey Rosenberg over on the Twitter machine. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good, guys. You guys are making me think about all my Ron Washington Manager of the Year futures that I had last year that I thought I was like, no, this is a great idea. And I just remember humans saying, this is a terrible bet, but it's toilet paper. And so, yeah.
Humans never shy to let you know what he thinks about your bets.
No. Yeah.
So Adam has an awesome site, by the way, or Handigraphs. If you guys want to go in and save yourself some research time, this has been invaluable to me as I handicap baseball. And you got a bunch of futures bets in the account. I want to start down here with the Orioles because we get some news come through this morning. They signed Chris Bassett to an $18.5 million one-year deal, so he's likely to roll into that rotation. Pitched to a sub-4 ERA last year, and they're going to hope that the 37-year-old can kind of turn back the clock and do it yet again for them. But you got a couple of bets here that kind of around that with the Orioles with a record standpoint and then also one of their players for MVP.
So you and I talked about this, December when I was there, and I was like, hey, do you want to talk about baseball? And you're like, no, I'm watching the Texans Chiefs game. Why are we talking about baseball? And I said Orioles. I think Orioles will get Pete Alonso. I think that this is going to be it. So I love this Orioles team. Let's start with them for the best record. 80-1 is kind of a crazy number for them, given that this team is 2 years removed from having the best record in baseball. Tons of signings, getting Taylor Ward, getting Pete Alonso. They revamped the entire rotation, which is now going to probably be a 6-man rotation, which will take a lot of the pressure off of individual guys, probably guys like Bassett. He's not going to have to throw 35 starts. And I think that this number is probably long because the Dodgers exist. And also, which by the way, they won 93 games last year. So they didn't even have the best record. And probably also because they're in the AL East, but 80-1 for the team that I think arguably improved the most in terms of their problems in the offseason. I mean, look at them. They're 10-1 for the AL, but looking at the guys ahead of them, I am big on the Mariners, but I think that there is really a path for this Orioles team to have 95, 98 wins, and you don't have to have 100 wins to have the best record in baseball anymore. I think it can sit up in that upper 90s. So, yeah, 80-1, just infinitely too long for this on this team.
Adam, fair to say that you can ladder down from here as well. You like over the win total, and you like them for the division as well, or is there another team you kind of got your eye on there?
Yeah, I do like them. Look, I also do like, admittedly, I do like the Red Sox a fair bit for their rotation. And MVP wise, I like, and this is another one I pitched Matt way too early that he just was like not in the mood to hear in December. But, the two guys who I like in the AL for MVP are Roman Anthony and Gunnar Henderson. I really love Gunnar Henderson for MVP. To be MVP, you effectively have to have a WAR of 9 and an OPS 900 or higher. Gunnar had a 9 WAR 2 years ago. He also was able to have a 5.3 last year, despite being on a pretty awful Orioles team that was constantly tinkering with their lineup. He was just outside that 900 threshold. And look, he had 30 steals on this team last year, 120 WRC plus. I know Jackson Holliday's hurt because yesterday was Hamate Gate, where everybody broke their hamate bones. So
we got to get a hamate fix like we did with the Tommy John. Like the Tommy John, you get the Tommy John, you come back and you throw harder and everything's better. We got to figure out how to do that with the hamate apparently.
Yeah, really. Just everybody at once. I was like, is this a TikTok trend? What is this? Yeah, but look, Gunnar, he's at a premium position. He has those power metrics. He's also, like I said, he steals 30 plus bases. So he has that entire profile you can have for MVP. And since I like the team to do better, this is sort of that NFL style of cap where if you think a team's going to do well, you bet him for number one seed, you bet him for the best record, and you bet one of their best players for MVP.
Yeah, there's always a team that has the tail, right? That this could be them for sure. They might even move Mountcastle for some sort of piece of something. I don't know what he could bring, but I mean, they don't really need him. There's some teams out there that could use a first baseman, so we'll see what they do with him. All right, so let's roll into the Atlanta Braves and an interesting take on them that you have.
So everybody loves this Braves team to bounce back, and look, as a Phillies fan, I've never liked this. I never liked the Braves. Walt Weiss, new manager. I don't know how things are going to operate there. My big thing though on this team is that they had huge problems on the infield. They had bad infield defense. Nick Allen was playing shortstop. They re-signed Ha-Seong Kim, and this injury has gone under the radar. He tore tendons in his thumb. He's not back till June. So that's a considerable part of the season that you are missing the captain of your infield from a defensive perspective. And the other day, Spencer Schwellenbach, who they expected to have back, he missed half the season last year with, basically all but a UCL tear. First day of camp, he says, I don't have a hamate bone problem. I'm just going to go right to the 60-day IL. First day of camp. When that happens, that is telling you we have no timetable for return. And keep in mind that rotation is Ronaldo Lopez, who missed all of last season, Chris Sale, who's had his own injury history, Spencer Strider, who is 18 months removed from having a brace UCL. So that's a lot of pressure that's being put on a very thin rotation. Give me the Braves to miss the playoffs. I am going to go. I think you'll actually in season probably get even a better number on here because this is such a public steam team right now. But I think that, someone else, like whether it's the Padres, whether it's the Reds, whether it's a team I'm going to talk about in a little bit, could sneak and get another one of those playoff spots. I think the best way to fade this Braves team, though, is to get them to miss the playoffs at near 2-1.
All right, Adam, I want to jump to my favorite bet of yours that I'm looking at on the screen right now. Mariners' longest winning streak over 7.5 games. Talk to me about this one. Is this more schedule related? Or are you just really high on the Mariners in general? Is it a combination of both? What got you to this bet?
So I love this team. I mean, this team has a 90 win total. And so just math alone, if you're going to win 90 games, you got to have an 8-game winning streak. But I thought the Brendan Donovan acquisition for them was great. They're actually running back they're running back everybody except I would argue the weakest part of their team they got rid of, that being Gino Suarez. Sorry, Gino lovers, but I think that guy stinks. Their entire rotation is stacked and it's young dudes. I do like Logan Gilbert for Cy. And look, this team is built to make a run. And they had an 8-game, technically 2 8 games, but one of those 8 games turned into a 10-game last year. They have multiple guys in this pitching staff and a really balanced roster that should bring down strikeouts and should be able to give them a 9-1 run or a 10-0 run or an 8-2 run where they can win 8 straight games. So I saw this. This felt too low. This should have been an 8.5 to me, but 8 games is something I think is pretty easy at plus money. I think is great for this team to be able to pull off. They might do it in April and then we cash early.
Yeah. That'd be nice.
Let's get to another NL team that you were talking about that you think maybe could even have the upside of sneaking into the playoffs. And yeah, it's that Pittsburgh Pirates team. You look at this rotation: Skeens, Keller, Ashcraft, Bubba Chandler, if he can live up to all of the hype. And then if you're rounding it out with Urquidy, that is certainly nothing to laugh at right there. And they brought in a couple players in the lineup as well.
I'm really glad you mentioned Urquidy because he's sort of that, like for baseball nerds, he's like one of the guys that we always love. But look, this Pirates team, they're 5-1 to make the playoffs. So this is, and they would need 85 wins anyway. So just if you don't even watch sports, but you care about math, it's just a better bet just for this to happen. But their Pythag last year with a markedly worse roster was 78. They actually signed players this year. They got, they made the trade for Brandon Lau. They got Marcell Ozuna in there. They may actually score some runs. And they were 7-6 against the Cardinals last year, who I have projected as one of the worst teams in the league. So you can get some of those wins back. And they were 3-10 against the Brewers, who I think are going to be a little bit worse than they were last year. So just within division, I think they're going to be able to take some of those wins. But 85 is I think it's a smarter way to play them for the playoffs. It's a smarter way to play the ceiling. They have a great rotation. They had a top 5 in pitching metrics last year. They just never scored any runs, and all their signings were around players that should be able to rectify that situation for them on their offense. So give me the Pirates. Give me the other side of the state in Pennsylvania. 85 wins at 6-1. I love.
All right, we got about 30 seconds here. You can't say the Dodgers, and it has nothing to do with betting. Who wins the World Series other than them?
Who wins? The Cubs.
Oh.
The Cubs get some.
Quick
Cubs get that Rabbi Alex Bregman magic comes in. It's the 10th anniversary. Yeah, 10th anniversary of their 2016. The Cubs. Give me the Cubs. I think that they put the Cabrera. I think Cabrera trade was great for them. So yeah, this should be a good one for them.
At Hey Rosenberg over on the Twitter machine, Handy Grass Sports Gambling Podcast Network, and Dad's Bet Baseball. Adam Rosenberg, thanks for the time, buddy, and good luck.
Yep. See you guys soon.
When we come back, we got a big-time name out there that put out his first mock draft since everything cleared up. What do we think about it, Kelly Bitten? We'll let everybody know.
VSiN's player prop projection tool is now available for the NBA. Get projections for points, assists, rebounds, and more powered by Opta AI. On VSiN.com/NBA props, we line up our projections against the latest DraftKings odds so you can quickly spot mismatches and find value before the market adjusts. The NBA player prop projections tool is available exclusively to VSiN Pro subscribers. Check it out now at VSiN.com/NBA props and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
Check out Stormy and JVT on Money Moves, only on VSiN.
Reeled off 5 straight wins, including beating the freaking Colorado Avalanche last night. Let's go.
5.5 is, of course, as we always say, the dead number. Every time we say it, an angel gets its wings.
They'll take you on a fun, fast-paced journey, weaving in everything you need to know to make an educated bet, while also not shying away from the excitement of a same-game parlay sweat. Money Moves, weekdays at 2 p.m. Eastern on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Game on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Numbers Game here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Matt Brown and Kelly Bidlin. Nice little talk there about baseball. Listen, it is. They're reporting, man. It's not too early to talk about baseball.
Not at all, man. Not at all.
And these are some bets again. These are some bets again that you can make now before people start to pay attention to what's going on out there. I bet you there are a lot of people that don't even realize that the Pirates added to that lineup. Spencer Horwitz came over. Marcell Ozuna came over. You know, these are things that I think a lot of people. Ryan O'Hearn came over. I don't know if people even understand that they went and signed some pretty good dudes to come in and help out with that lineup. And so you can go in and get this stuff out. But here's the deal. People are going to start talking about it here in a couple weeks, Kelly.
I'm fairly excited just at the idea of Paul Skeens getting any help whatsoever from that team. And it sure sounds like you and others, you, Adam, and others kind of high on this team.
This Jared Jones could be back as well, one of their highly regarded pitching prospects. He had elbow surgery way back in May of last year, and so he could be back at some point kind of middle of the season as well. So I think there's some upside there for that Pirate squad for sure. Of course, you know, every time Skeens takes the hill, they have a chance to win.
Right.
So you get that every single time.
They also have a chance to not give him any run support whatsoever.
Yes. But they at least tried to address some of that.
They tried to address that.
They tried to address some of it.
I will tell you, it's taken me all of, this is our third day on air together now this week. It's taken me all 3 days to add the Orioles over win total to the bets to make list. Yep,
it's made the list, everybody. Yep. Kelly has a list of things that he's going to do.
You got to shop numbers. You know what? I will not apologize for it because shopping numbers is very important, and
it is.
I got a lot out. So
I like it.
It takes a lot of time, especially on a cell phone.
Yeah, seriously, we can't just scroll through tabs. So it's one of the
by the way,
here.
that was one of my Super Bowl prop betting just nuclear moments this year where I'm like, I love Super Bowl props. I love betting them. Nothing takes longer all year for things that me and you bet than going through props in Nevada.
It is. I don't care. I'll say I have written emails to the Gaming Commission.
Good.
About what are we doing? Why do we not have? Yeah, why do we not have widespread?
Well, it can't be a gaming commission thing, right? Because MGM can do it.
I think it's like, but there's like a super long approval process and all of this stuff. And so these people don't want to go through these like approval processes that take like 2 years and stuff and everything. It's just like, guys, let's get with the times.
You know, we should go the other way real quick. MGM, if anybody out there is listening, I think I could speak for Matt, I truly appreciate the fact that you have a desktop setup that I can just go on my computer and sort through.
I do appreciate it.
That only takes it about, 1/3 of the time than going through the app.
So Field Yates has kind of morphed his career, where it's kind of started in the fantasy field there with ESPN, but he's morphed kind of into the more draft guy now, where he does a ton of draft content for them. And we mentioned yesterday that ESPN is going to be leaning into the draft this year. It is a very deep draft with a ton of big names. And so with that, they're going to do a daily program or just around the draft.
Let's go.
Like
it.
This is not like their daily show they used to do on the NFL. Like, this is just literally a draft show that's going to be going on every single day. But he put out his first postseason mock draft, and to nobody's surprise, Fernando Mendoza, number 1 overall to the Raiders. And, you know, I am to the point now, Kelly, and certainly the betting market is to the point where I can't imagine a world that exists in which this doesn't go down. I mean, Clint Kubiak, you bring him in for a reason. I mean, like, it's you did not go get an offensive coordinator who worked very well and got the very best you could out of Sam Darnold this season to come in and then not take a quarterback to trade this pick away. Like, I cannot imagine that scenario.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm with you. I think that's what we see early. Interesting to see. We had the conversation earlier. What does the total quarterback market end up at? How many do we actually see? Sure sounds like you think it's just one, huh?
I do, but apparently Field Yates does not, and we'll get to that here in just a second. I had an Arvell Reese ticket from a long time ago.
I think I put in something small at that as well.
he has Arvell Reese at number 2. Another just phenomenal season there at Ohio State. He is going to create all kinds of havoc in the NFL. He has the Jets taking him at 2. I guess the question really, it's, you know, we talked about this last year. We said this almost every single year. Like, the draft starts at pick X. You know, I think the draft this year kind of starts at pick 2, one of which is, do the Jets even keep the second pick? Because you need so much.
Yeah.
And if someone covets one of these dudes at the top, do you just understand that you are not a year away? You're probably not even 2 years away. Do you just try to stockpile some picks and do some things like that? So I actually think the draft kind of begins at 2 here, and I do think there'll be some people who would be very interested in making some calls to the Jets to see if they could get up there and get Reese.
Yeah, I guess that part's interesting to me because I think, doesn't that apply to the Jets, the Cardinals, and maybe even the Titans as well, right? Where you would just rather stockpile more and more picks for each one of those teams.
Yeah, I mean, the Cardinals are in the same boat as the Jets. I think the Titans aren't that far off.
Okay.
I saw moments with Cam Ward last year that it seems like.
I guess that's all I was going to say. I guess it completely depends on how you feel about Cam Ward, right? And if they believe in him, then yeah, you're probably staying put and just trying to add top end talent here.
And they have actually he has the Titans adding an edge rusher there from Texas Tech and David Bailey helping out on the defensive side of the ball. The New York Football Giants, a team that I already said I'm really, really, really high on. He has them going defense. I think that's fine when you kind of look at what they have on the offensive side of the ball. Getting Neighbors back and having Wan'Dale Robinson, and I don't necessarily really think that you have to do a ton on the offensive side of the ball. And if you can kind of make that,
stud too.
I was going to say, and if you can make that defense, because you already have the defensive line, and now if you make the secondary a problem as well, and you can get that second-year leap from Jackson Dart, I don't mind this pick at all. I think this is a smart way to go about it, and what Field Yates has them doing is improving the secondary.
Yeah, so real quick, just overall, I mean, this is a deep class. When we're talking about edge rushers, offensive linemen, that's great. We know how coveted those are anyways by NFL teams. So maybe, okay, whether it's Reese, whether it's Bailey, whether it's Ruben Bain, right, we might see some movement as far as where the edge rushers are ranked here over the next couple months. The offensive linemen, the same thing. Do you think Downs is that first guy, though, that goes, that's not Mendoza and not an offensive lineman or edge rusher?
Yeah, I think in the market where it will probably just say secondary. I don't know what they'll do. I don't know how they'll do like first in the secondary or something or whatever, because usually it's a corner
right
that we're talking about, and so they just usually say first corner taken.
Yeah,
but it seems like that's not going to be the case this year, so they'll probably just say like first secondary player taken, and I think it's a pretty solid pick for it to be him. That said, Mansour Delane is another guy that has been getting a ton of buzz, cornerback out of LSU. He just continues to climb the board and creep up. Currently 11th, according to Field Yates, going to the Dolphins. But a couple of wide receivers there in the top 10, Kelly, and that's one of the things that I'm looking at here. So we always get the first wide receiver. We always get how many wide receivers. We also get sometimes how many wide receivers inside the top 10, or will they go in the top 10 or whatever. Carnell Tate, number 7 to the Washington Commanders, and then Jordan Tyson, number 8 overall. Number 7, Carnell Tate, number 8 overall, Jordan Tyson to the New Orleans Saints. Both in desperate need of playmakers for sure. Both know where they sit at the quarterback position for sure. I think these also make total sense. But again, this kind of starts to lay the groundwork for which one of these guys is the team that picks first ultimately going to take, because there will probably be an over-under set for both of these dudes. There'll probably be a head-to-head set for both of these guys. And so now we start to kind of figure out where these mock drafters are putting them. Jeremiah Love to Kansas City at the 9th overall pick. That is bold.
I was going to say, yeah. Especially if we think there's top wide receiver talent, right? Like I was just thinking there's 3 teams right in a row there that scream wide receiver to me.
That's the thing where for me, you look at Kansas City, I think Jeremiah Love would be great in that offense, but boy, that seems like a luxury pick when you need a wide receiver as bad as they do.
Yeah, and it's been a while since you've had a pick this good too.
And then, like you said, you mentioned Ruben Bain. They have him going to Cincinnati there at the 10th pick, knowing that Trey Henderson's going to be out of town. So Trey Henderson's going to be gone there. And that's kind of your top 10. All in all, you can go and find the full draft over there at ESPN. 2 quarterbacks, Ty Simpson being the second one taken in the first round, 1 running back, 5 wideouts, 6 offensive tackles, 2 offensive guards, 1 tight end, 7 edge rushers, 4 corners, 2 defensive tackles, a safety, and a linebacker. That is 17 offensive players and 15 defensive players.
Like it, okay. And I think the wide receiver group, that's interesting. Like, you know what jumps out to me right away of just kind of the team to draft certain position, right? Like Washington, New Orleans, right? A wide receiver is going to be favored and should be.
Washington for a wide receiver is going to be the first bet that I put in from it. They
My first thought.
They have to do something